the stage of the market cycle that we're in, the volume, and the price action, right? I did all of that. What's the next step? Buy on sizable dips. Okay, well, it's down 77%, or breakout and retest. So I did both. I waited for it to go down 77%, and I bought the breakout and retest, right? So I did everything that I just told you guys, and then what happened? Well, we bought it here, remember? Okay, you can see. It went up 5x in how long? Mid-February, mid-March. It went up 5x in a month. You put in $10,000, it's now $50,000, okay? Using this strategy. Pretty simple, right? You can see how it all worked in front of you, firsthand. This is how I did it. Now, I'll give you one more example just to really rub it in. So, Toshi, this is a screenshot from the video that I made that you've seen multiple times in this course if you've been paying attention, that gave you the 100x thesis for Toshi, okay? Now, you can't really see it here, but there was volume on this breakout. So you can see here that this is an accumulation range, right? Breakout, retest, up. That's what happened. Same as when. Same setup. It went down, what's this, like 30 million market cap, 2.5 mil market cap. It went down like 80, 90%, okay? Formed an accumulation range, volume breakout, retest. And I also did all the fundamental analysis behind the coin. So base, Coinbase to base, Satoshi, meme coins, cat coin, blah, blah, blah. All the fundamental analysis, okay? And then the coin went to a $150 million market cap. So it went up from down here. It went up to, I think it was even lower. I think it was like down there. It went up to a 50x, okay? And it's obviously at a 23x now. And that was using the same system. I identified the coin, right? Used outlier price. I didn't really do this step. Identified support and resistance, sort of. Stage of market cycle, yes. Volume, yes. Price action, sort of. Bought on a sizable dip and a breakout in the retest, okay? So you can see basically how the strategy works. That's how you use technical analysis. And in this course, I'm going to teach you how to identify support and resistance, how to do drawdowns and like see the drawdown. And what else would I show you? Price action, how to identify strong and weak price action. And a bunch of whatever else is in the technical analysis section in the course, I'll teach you as well, okay? It's all relating back to this. Now, something I want to tell you is that the bigger the coin, the more advanced the chart analysis. So for small meme coins that are like a $3 million market cap, the technical analysis is very basic. It's like, okay, support, resistance, percent drawdown, price action, pretty basic. But for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, mostly Bitcoin, the bigger the coin gets, right, the more advanced the data I use. So on the biggest coins, the top 100 coins, I have designed algorithms with a full-time dev team of multiple developers. We have 30 or more at any time unique data sets that we're using to measure whale movements, capitulation events, sentiment, funding data, all this different stuff, right? It's way more advanced. And yeah, the bigger the coin is, the less it's like about the chart itself, and the more it is about the data behind the chart. So, you know, like when you think of technical analysis or chart analysis, right, you think of what we just did then, which is like drawing support, drawing resistance, drawing support, right? But all this support and resistance stuff, it doesn't really work, the basics on Bitcoin. Like it's like, what was the strategy? Breakout and retest? Ooh, good luck doing that on here. Okay, here, look, another one. Good luck doing that there. Right? Okay, breakout, retest. Nope, doesn't really happen. Okay, it happened there, but it took like a month. Right? Like the traditional, basic, simple technical analysis that I did on those meme coins doesn't really work on these coins. What works, in my experience, is using other data sets which are more advanced that measure sentiment and measure what smart people are doing. So, for example, how many bids are in the order book right now? How many asks are there? If you don't know what this means, a bid is a buy, is someone wanting to buy, and an ask is someone trying to sell. So if there's lots of bids, there's a lot of people wanting to buy, that's probably where the bottom is. Vice versa. Realized losses. So when price goes up and down, you can see with this data set how many people are winning and losing, How many people are, sorry, not winning. How many people are losing? For example, right? At the bottom, lots of people losing. At the bottom, lots of people losing. At the bottom, some people losing. Here, lots of people losing, okay? It's not 100% accurate. No, nothing is. But it's tools like this that I would use in confluence with each other to basically measure what's happening, okay? All of these data sets, including funding and stuff, are just derivatives of what the chart is showing you. So what we did over here was basically drawing on the chart. What we're doing here is more data that we take off the chart, but is still based on what the chart is showing us, okay? So all derivatives of what you see on a chart, we look at this data next to a chart, but different from what most considered chart analysis. Okay, so all these data sets are just derivatives of what this is telling you, right? You look at this, there's all data from this. It's just a derivative of a chart, okay? And the bigger the coin gets, the more the data is like off the chart. This is just in my experience. This is how I approach it. So when you're like, Daniel, I drew a support on Bitcoin. I drew a support level and it didn't work. I'm like, bro, this is why. It's not relevant. It's for the small shit things. It's not for the big coins, okay? The big coins are way more complicated in my experience, okay? Now, obviously, you can do shit like this and go, it came into the last all-time high. Yeah, like, you can still sort of use it. But in my experience, this is better, okay? So let's go over and recap what we just talked about. Using chart analysis for meme coins, I have two types of buying strategies using technical analysis. Strategy number one is the breakout and retest. Which coin does this look like? Remember we talked about this coin? Aha, this one, right? Resistance, breakout, retest, up. Toshi and Wen did this one. Now, another one that you can do is the 40 to 60% decline, buying the dip. So this is Fenki Base God. You can see here that from the peak to the bottom, each time it did a 54%, 58%, 41%, 52%. If you just bought the dip on this coin, you made money. And that's the thing with technical analysis. It's really mostly just about figuring out how to buy the dip, how to buy low and then sell high. That's all it is, buying and selling, entries and exits. Okay? Now, if you're a trader, you might also use the chart for determining your risk and reward setup. But we as investors determine risk and reward through our thesis and the validation or the invalidation of the thesis. That is our stop loss. I don't set a 5% stop loss on investments. It's a bad idea, okay? It's about the thesis, okay? So it's not, when I use charts, I don't care about, oh, it went down 10%, the thesis is invalidated. No. No. That's for traders. I'm an investor. Different strategy. But if you were a trader, you would also say that you use chart analysis for identifying the risk and reward setup. Okay? So that's the two meme coin strategies that you can use, or even any coin. Any small coin this will work on. Doesn't have to be memes, but I buy memes, okay? Now, the second, for big coins like Bitcoin, it's really just about buying crashes using capitulation-related data. So this is the Bitcoin chart, right? And we just use the Hunter algo to buy, right? The Hunter algo is said to buy here, but technical analysis, it's said to sell because it broke the support level, right? If a coin breaks below a support, that's usually a bad sign. But with Bitcoin, it tends to fuck over the traders, right? And it tends to just completely fuck them over. Whereas our tool was able to say, hey, look, a lot of people are losing money here. This is probably a bottom. The sentiment's really bearish. This is probably a bottom. The same thing happened here. Support, 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 break down, break above, and then pump. The algo said to buy. It said a lot of people are losing money right now, right? It's time to buy. Okay? Let me see if I find another example. Nothing on this chart. But anyway, that's what I do. Okay, that's chart analysis for the bigger coins, okay? So that's pretty much everything. That's the role of chart analysis. That's some strategies that I use. And I'm going to go into each video now in this section basically breaking down how you can use each of these different technical analysis tools. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.